dance was the vehicle. Dance was it. Dance was the way out. I've been dancing for, since 1992. And started at a community center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Little did I know that dream of like being in that little hip hop group at a community center would like be that vehicle that would lead me to, the greatness of what like an Alvin Ailey and, dancing for pop stars all over the world. I've had the opportunity to work with so many great female pop stars. I haven't really worked with male artists. Lastly was Mariah Carey as a creative consultant and choreographer, as well as Beyonce for a while, as well as Rihanna, Destiny's Child, Katy Perry, Kesha, Sierra, and like the list goes on. But I definitely would say one of my best experiences as a choreographer was definitely with Mariah Carey, because the creative control of such an iconic artist like that was a dream come true. I grew up with my hip hop group, doing routines to her songs. So to that moment to like transcend and to as her actual choreographer, creative director was like, it was something that I could never have dreamed of.
There's still stigmas around young boys expressing that maybe they want to dance. So what was it like for you being a young Black boy growing up in Philly and expressing that you were interested in dancing?
Wow, that was like one of those things. It was like the best kept secret. I mean, everyone knew I was in this group called the South Philly Shakers, and everyone knew me from the South Philly Shakers. And when it turned into like technique dancing and like classic dance training, that's when the name calling was more prevalent. And I got jumped several times coming home from school because I was the dancer, and they would call me names, sissy, gay, fag. And I don't know, I feel like that was kind of my motivation. That was a motivating factor for me, because it was like I was getting notoriety for that dancing ability, and I was almost certain like you may not like it. If my parents didn't have the financial capabilities of providing for me, so they were just like and luckily I found resources through like people that from my school, like my guidance counselor, that would suggest summer programming over the summer, which fueled my dancing. It was the community center, Point Breeze Performing Arts Center, which was 2 blocks away from my home. And they gave me a summer scholarship there. And that was the life-changing moment for me, because like, even though it was 2 blocks away, I had to take this little back road to get there, this back street to get there. And that's where I would get jumped, because, they knew where I was going. Those boys knew where I was going. So, on the way there, I would see them, and on the way there, I would get back. Sometimes they wouldn't mess with me. Other times it was like I had to fight my way to my dance classes.
Why do you think it's those type of stigmas? Like, why is it met with that type of negativity?
It's that toxic masculinity that's attached to our community. Even our mothers, our brown women, are frowned upon a man in tights, because it I guess it demasculates us, by showing, our genitalia. But I think it's one of the things that is so stagnant with our community, when it comes to male dancers, and the outlook, the criticism that's attached to it from us it's a little bit disheartening.
Now, you were a part of this hip hop group, but what did you love most about these other styles of dancing, the ballet, the jazz? What attracted you to that?
What attracted me to the classic styles of dance was the opportunity, the discipline. I think the discipline is what I was missing in my life. And I was attracted to that structure. Like, be here on time for class. You miss ballet class, you get out. Like, I felt like someone really cared, And from like being from South Philadelphia, I think there are not many outlets or come from a single family home, living in a house, a 3-bedroom house with 12 people, I didn't get a lot of attention, even though there was so much going on. There was always something going on. I felt like I was never given attention. I was raised by my grandmother. I knew they loved me, but it wasn't that individual care. When I got to the dance studio, that discipline and that one-on-one attention and that like Anthony good, Anthony bad, that was calling me. It was that discipline and that attention that attracted me to the art. Giving up was never an option for me. It was like, dance was the vehicle. Dance was it. Dance was the way out. Dance was the way out of this. Philly was a war zone. Philly was a place where, my best friends at a year after I started dancing was beat by the police and became brain dead. A year after I really started dancing, and we were hanging like brothers every day. And it's like, I knew that's what I didn't want. Mm-hmm. That's what I didn't want for myself. I didn't want the 7 kids that my other best friend, there was 3 of us. He had 3 kids by the time he was 16, and it was like, I was going down that same path, and somebody just wrapped their arms around me and just took me away from that. And it's just, I'm like, why? How? I question, how did this little kid from the hood have this superb opportunity of not only stepping into one of the world's most elite dance companies, Alvin Ailey, American Dance Theater, but being able to travel the world with so many prominent, influential people, and to be on the right or the left of their shoulder performing as a backup or support act. It's rewarding. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm capable of saying I've lived everything that I could ever possibly wanted to live as an artist, as a dancer, as a choreographer. Being here in Atlanta is my true destiny, my true purpose as a creative. I think all of those lessons, all of those contacts, all of those artists that I've worked with, all of the people that taught me, I'm their transmitter to the next generation. I'm that vessel that's going to pass that information on, that baton of information on selflessly, and just give it freely to this next generation of dancers at Anthony Burrell Center for Dance.
How has that experience been, having that studio in Atlanta and just helping these young students overcome their barriers to succeed in dance?
Well, being here in Atlanta with Anthony Burrell Center for Dance has definitely it hasn't been all cherries and ice cream, but the challenges that I've been faced with have all been great challenges and life lessons that I can carry on for the rest of my days. And as I embark on my second go at ABCD, because COVID forced me to close the doors to the first business, I was resilient. I stayed true to the goal and what the heart of what this project was. And my 2 years of being here, I realized that this is my purpose. Mm-hmm. I realized that preparing dancers mentally, physically, emotionally, in all aspects, helping them get into college, helping them understand, the history of dance, who our ancestors are, who, just guiding them and seeing them light up. Like I was that same little kid looking up toward the Ailey company. It's like, that's like, woo, that like fills me up so much, because it's like I'm setting a fire and setting a light in these kids that could set ablaze and burn into something so fierce, you know. So yeah, I'm just excited to be able to just transcend this information and see these kids go to these universities and get accepted and represent Anthony Burrell Center for Dance, you know, all over the world, you know. And I'm proud of that, you know, because I'm not just Mariah choreographer or Beyonce's choreographer, you know. It's like it's not that thing for me. I'm Anthony Burrell of Anthony Burrell Center for Dance, and that's the legacy and the life that I'm trying to leave behind, you know, for my family, for my daughter. It's the same what a Debbie Allen is doing. It's the same what an Alvin Ailey has created. You know, it's a legacy that will live beyond me.
What message would you give to young boys that maybe they do want to dance, but they're embarrassed, they're hiding it because of the backlash they may receive?
Well, you know, I'm actually in Hollins University right now, and for my research, I'm going to do gather information to do a book for male dancers, for young brown male dancers that want to dance, and, you know, just kind of be a inspirational, like, go get it kind of book that say, this is the path, this is the tool I took, and, you know, I was just this same kid that didn't have the support, that didn't have this, but with the dedication, the determination, and the discipline, I achieved every single thing that I could have ever imagined. So the dedication, determination, discipline are my 3 Ds that I live by, and I pass that to every brother that I know and meet. Oh, and do your push-ups.
Do your push-ups.